Indonesia, the largest island chain on the planet. Cloaked in tropical rainforests and warmed by clear blue seas, it's a paradise for a unique range of species. While many regions throughout the world witness a wide range of weather conditions, in Indonesia, it's a case of either extremely dry or extraordinarily wet. Trapped in the heart of monsoon territory, creatures have learned to capitalize on some of the most powerful rainstorms on the planet. Situated in Southeast Asia, Indonesia's 17,000 islands cut a line through the Indian and Pacific Oceans. More than 2/3 of the land is covered by tropical rainforest. Approximately 15% of the world's animal species live here. And isolation has seen creatures evolve in unique ways. With highs of up to 35 degrees Celsius, even at night, temperatures across the archipelago rarely dip below the mid-20s. Here on the equator, fresh water and shade are two of the most vital commodities. Although much of Indonesia receives sporadic rain throughout the year, this alone wouldn't be enough to sustain the rich abundance of life. Fortunately, change is on the horizon. The annual monsoon rains, lasting 6 months, are just days away. Sulawesi sits at the heart of Indonesia's archipelago and is the 11th largest island on the planet. No point on the island is more than 100 kilometers from the sea. As midday approaches, one of Indonesia's most inquisitive residents breaks cover from the forest shade. Crested black macaques are one of the island's largest primates and spend most of their time foraging on the ground. With so little need to climb trees, they've almost done away with a balance-enhancing tail. Led by the alpha male, the 20-strong troop scour the shoreline for washed-up seeds and flower buds. It's the end of the dry season, and fruits from the previous monsoon are at an all-time low. So anything they can get their hands on will do. At this time of year, rainwater from the odd light shower quickly evaporates. With fresh water so scarce, some resort to desperate measures. In the long term, however, a mouthful of salty surf only adds to dehydration. Despite standing just 60 centimeters tall and weighing less than 10 kilos, Sulawesi's black macaques have no major predators. Although they do have to keep a close eye on a potentially lethal neighbor. Especially now, when food is so scarce. Water monitors can reach a length of 3 meters and are the second largest lizards in the world. They're excellent swimmers and one of the few reptiles to tolerate salt as well as fresh water. A flattened tail propels them through the shallows with fish-like ease. They can remain submerged for up to half an hour. However, swimming at the surface allows them to keep an eye out for potential feeding sites. Water monitors will eat anything they can swallow. They'll even resort to cannibalism. They dominate the entire island chain and declare their presence with an unruly reptilian swagger. Using its forked tongue to pick up scent, this individual locks on to a potential meal. The macaques know this hunter well, so respect its powerful jaws and whip-like tail. For their size, water monitors are fast runners, hitting bursts of up to 20 kilometers an hour when chasing down their prey. Today's meal requires little use of this individual's powerful legs. But they may come into place soon, as someone else has wind of the shoreline snacks. Water monitors are solitary creatures. They're not precious over territory and avoid direct conflict with their own kind at all costs. But when food is scarce, it's every lizard for itself. This time it appears pride is the only injury. High above them, however, a different storm is brewing. The monsoon rains signal an end to the dry season. Torrential downpours will come and go for the next 6 months. For many island creatures, the banquet is set to begin. Not only does Indonesia lay claims of the second longest coastline in the world, it's also home to some impressive freshwater lakes. Lake Toba on the island of Sumatra stretches 100 kilometers long by 30 kilometers wide. It's the largest volcanic lake on the planet. This was the site of the greatest eruption on Earth in the past 2.5 million years. It was over 200 times more powerful than anything witnessed by modern-day man. Spewing out 3 trillion tons of magma, equivalent in mass to more than 19 million Empire State Buildings. The resulting ash cloud had a major effect on global climate, blocking out the sun, lowering temperatures, and wiping out many forms of life. Deposits of ash even made it as far as East Africa, more than 7,000 kilometers away. Lake Toba's supervolcano eventually collapsed, leaving behind an enormous crater and a gigantic reservoir for Indonesia's monsoon rains. Indonesia's vast network of rivers and lakes is home to over 1,300 species of freshwater fish. Heavy downpours flush organic matter from the surrounding land, luring fish to the surface to feed. But leaving the security of the deep is a risky business, especially with eagle-eyed predators roaming the skies. With a wingspan of just over a meter, Brahminy kites are medium-sized birds of prey. They're far from fussy eaters and have colonized the entire island chain. Carrion, reptiles, frogs, even insects are on the menu. However, fish are a particular delicacy. When they can catch them. Soaring 50 meters above the lake's surface, this individual spots a potential meal. This time the mission fails. He can't risk getting his wing feathers wet, as he'll be too heavy to fly. So the fish must be snatched from the surface. Getting his sharp talons to grip is just a numbers game. Others get wind of the offerings and decide to try their luck too. Brahminy kites are communal birds. More than 100 have been known to share a roost. With so many birds hunting in such a small area, aerial acrobatics are essential to avoid mid-air collisions. Finally, the kite's efforts pay off. Back on Sulawesi, things are looking up for the crested black macaques. After enduring 6 months of dry weather, they can now benefit from the recent heavy monsoon rains. As well as providing fresh drinking water, the downpours fuel a banquet of more than 100 varieties of fruit. Beachcombing is a thing of the past, for now at least. There's so much food on offer, the troop can even afford to be choosy. Less ripe fruits are quickly discarded. However, one monkey's hand-me-downs are another's treasure. Mangoes, figs, and breadfruit provide essential carbohydrates as well as vitamins. Despite the deluge of fruit sugars and fiber, this still isn't enough to fulfill their nutritional needs. Fortunately, rotting logs provide the ideal home for burrowing insects. And termite larvae are the perfect protein-packed treat. At this time of year, squabbles between the elder members of the troop are rare. Full stomachs induce a peaceful atmosphere. Although this doesn't appear to be the case among the youngsters of the group. Grooming is a daily ritual. Not only does it reinforce social bonds, it's a great way to relax. The tranquility doesn't last long. The troop have company. Birds follow the macaques as they discard seeds and disturb insects. And where there are birds, there are usually nests. Despite their enormous size, water monitors are excellent climbers. And this individual seeks out a favorite meal: eggs. Sharp 3-centimeter long claws act like climbing spikes as it scales the trunk with ease. But these can quickly become lethal weapons to a cornered baby macaque. The predator now has eyes on a different bounty. The concerned troop look on, unsure how to react. But there's little they can do. The baby macaque edges away along thinner branches that only just support her weight. The lizard knows he's too heavy to follow, so abandons his mission. Getting down, however, isn't that straightforward, especially when there's an unwelcoming reception party waiting below. Fortunately, it's just the distraction the baby macaque needs to rejoin the troop. The macaques decide to move on in search of more peaceful pasture. That's the plan, at least.